What if the genuine oil your dealer just charged you 60 quid for came out of the same tanker as the stuff on the shelf at Halfords for a third of the price? Car manufacturers don't actually make engine oil. They outsource the blending to a handful of oil companies, then put their own name and a technical specification code on the bottle. 5 of the most common oils sold in this country right now come from somewhere very different to what the label implies. Cheapest offender first. Number 5. Halfords' own brand oil, the stuff in the plain bottles at the bottom of the shelf that most people walk straight past. It's made by Comma, a proper British lubricant manufacturer that's been blending oil for over 50 years and supplies workshops and motor factors across the country. Comma isn't a mystery supplier either. Halfords lists them as an official brand partner on their own website. So the budget own label bottle and the branded Comma bottle 2 aisles over can be the exact same formulation, just one of them is dressed up with Halfords' own packaging and a slightly different price tag either way, depending which one happens to be on offer that week. Comma doesn't stop at Halfords either. They've been supplying antifreeze, additives, and workshop-grade oil to independent garages and trade counters across the country for over 50 years, quietly sitting behind more shelves than most drivers realize, because a business built on supplying trade doesn't need its own name in flashing lights. Comma also blends oil sold under several other retail names beyond Halfords, which most drivers never connect, simply because nobody puts also available as 3 other brands on the label. Number 4. If you drive a Volkswagen or an Audi and your dealers ever quoted you for Quantum oil during a service, that name means nothing to anyone outside a VW dealership because it's not an independent brand, it's a private label. Multiple people who've actually worked the parts counter at VW Group dealers report that Quantum has been blended by Fuchs, a major German lubricant manufacturer that's been producing oil since the 1930s and supplies plenty of well-known brands behind the scenes. Whether it's Fuchs on a given batch or another large blender depends on the contract at the time. VW Group doesn't publish it, and it isn't required to. What is consistent is that Quantum itself is not a company that makes anything. It's a name stuck on a contract, renewed and retendered every so often, the same way a supermarket retenders which factory bakes its own label bread. If you've ever wondered why a VW dealer can't tell you much about Quantum beyond it's what we use, this is why. The person behind the counter usually has no more idea than you do, because the name changes hands administratively, not on the shop floor. Audi dealers run the exact same arrangement under their own version of the same label, because Audi and VW share the same parts and servicing infrastructure across most of the country, meaning 2 different badges on the forecourt are quietly buying oil through the same corporate pipeline. It's worth remembering this every time a dealer service advisor talks about our specially formulated oil like it's something unique to that showroom, because in most cases, it's a shared arrangement running across several brands under the same corporate parent, not a bespoke recipe cooked up for your specific car. Here's the part worth actually understanding, because it explains every single name on this list, not just the 2 you've heard so far. A car manufacturer publishes an approval code, something like Dexos 2 for General Motors vehicles, or a VW 50400 specification, or a Mercedes 229.5 rating. And that code is really a set of lab-tested performance standards, not a factory address. Any oil company big enough to run the certification testing can pay to get their formulation approved against that specification, and once they've got it, they're allowed to sell oil that meets it, whether or not the manufacturer's own name ever touches the bottle. That's not a loophole, it's literally how the entire system was designed to work, and it means manufacturer approved and manufacturer made are 2 completely different claims that most drivers never separate in their head. Picture standing at a dealer service desk with your handbook open, and someone tells you the warranty specifically requires their own genuine branded oil. Nothing else will do, no substitutes. For most cars built in the last 15 years, that's simply not true. Under UK and EU rules, using a correctly specified oil from a different brand at an independent garage does not void your manufacturer warranty, as long as it meets the actual approval code your engine needs, and you can show it was used. The dealer isn't lying about needing the right spec. They're just letting you assume the right spec and our own branded bottle are the same requirement, when only one of those is actually true. This isn't some gray area interpretation either. It's written directly into consumer protection law specifically because European regulators got tired of manufacturers using exactly this confusion to lock drivers into dealer servicing long after any car was actually new enough to need it. If you want to know exactly which of these 5 turns out to be the biggest name in the country, quietly owned by an oil major most people have never heard of, subscribe, because that one's genuinely surprising and it's coming up in a minute. Number 3. Vauxhall's own dealer-branded engine oil. Castrol makes it. Not Castrol adjacent, not to Castrol's standard. Castrol's own UK website states plainly that they manufacture a full range of Vauxhall-branded engine oil and fluids, working directly with Vauxhall on the specification. So, when a Vauxhall service department quotes you for their branded oil at dealer prices, and a bottle of Castrol sits on a shelf 20 minutes away, meeting the exact same specification for less, you're not choosing between 2 different products, you're choosing between 2 labels wrapped around the same barrel, at 2 very different prices for the privilege of which sticker you'd rather look at. This arrangement isn't hidden either. It's stated openly on Castrol's own commercial pages, because from Castrol's side, there's nothing to hide. Supplying a car manufacturer's own branded range is a legitimate, lucrative contract, and Vauxhall gets to put its own name on a bottle without ever operating a drop of refining capacity itself. Multiply that arrangement across every manufacturer running a dealer network in this country, and you start to see how few actual oil producers are standing behind dozens of badges on forecourts up and down the UK. Number 2, and this one's less about a single brand and more about a habit worth breaking entirely. The assumption that a full synthetic, high-mileage, extended-life oil sitting on the premium shelf is automatically doing more for your engine than the mid-range bottle underneath it. Base oil, the actual lubricating fluid before additives go in, gets classified into just 5 groups worldwide, and most full synthetic and plenty of premium branded oils on a UK shelf are built from the same handful of base oil groups, refined at a small number of the same refineries, then blended with different additive packages that do most of the actual differentiating. The marketing language above the barcode changes far more dramatically than what's actually inside the bottle underneath it. Group 3 base oils, heavily processed mineral oil refined until it performs close to true synthetic, make up a huge share of what gets legally sold as full synthetic on UK shelves, a labeling standard that would raise eyebrows in the US, where the same base oil often can't legally carry the word synthetic at all under stricter interpretations some states have pushed for. There are 5 recognized base oil groups in total, running from Group 1, the least refined mineral oil, through to Group 5, specialist synthetic esters used mostly in racing and extreme applications. And where any given bottle actually sits on that scale tells you far more about its real performance than the words premium, ultra, or advanced printed across the front of it ever will. None of that makes Group 3 oil bad. Plenty of genuinely excellent oils are built on it. It just means full synthetic printed in bold letters is doing more marketing work than technical work on nearly every shelf in the country. And number 1, Castrol itself. The name practically everyone in this country associates with proper, trustworthy, independently made British motor oil, founded in London back in 1899 by a man literally named Wakefield, selling lubricant for trains before anyone had heard of a motor car. That heritage is genuine. What isn't independent anymore is the company behind it. Castrol has been owned outright by BP, one of the largest oil majors on the planet, since the year 2000, when BP bought the Burma Castrol Group that had itself absorbed the original Castrol business back in 1966. So the trusted independent name going head-to-head with supermarket own brand oil on the same shelf is, underneath the badge, a product line belonging to one of the biggest oil companies in the world. The same kind of company supplying half the other bottles on that shelf under completely different names, folding over a century of British motoring heritage into one of the handful of global oil majors that already sits behind most of the rest of this list in one form or another. The independent underdog story printed on every tin of Castrol GTX simply isn't current anymore, and hasn't been for a quarter of a century. Here are 4 things worth doing with all of this before your next oil change. 1. Find the actual approval code your car needs, printed in your handbook, something like Dexos 2 or a VW or Mercedes spec number, and search that code specifically rather than shopping by brand name alone, because any oil meeting that code will protect your engine the same way, whatever's printed above it. 2. Check the base oil group and viscosity grade on the back of the bottle, not just the front, because 2 bottles marketed completely differently can list nearly identical technical specifications once you actually read past the marketing panel. Viscosity is written as something like 5W30. The number before the W tells you how it behaves cold, the number after tells you how it behaves hot. And that pairing matters more to your engine than which company's logo sits above it. 3. Look up who blends the brand before paying a premium for the name on the front. 30 seconds on your phone. If it traces back to Comma, Fuchs, Castrol, or one of a handful of other major blenders, you're paying extra for packaging sitting on top of shared production. 4. Don't assume price tracks quality in either direction. The cheapest bottle on the shelf and the most expensive one can both meet your exact spec. And the only way to know is checking the number on the label against the number your car actually needs. And a 5th one, because it saves an actual argument. If a dealer ever tells you an independent garage using correctly specified oil will void your warranty, ask them to point to the specific clause, because in most cases across the UK and EU, that clause simply doesn't exist, and they know it as well as you now do. None of this means every oil on a shelf is secretly identical. Formulations and additive packages genuinely do differ between blenders, and some of that difference matters over the life of an engine. What it means is that the badge and the manufacturer are 2 separate questions, and only one of them should ever set the price you're willing to pay. There are only a handful of companies on this island actually capable of refining and blending oil at scale, and every bottle on your local shelf traces back to one of them eventually. If you want to see this same pattern broken down on brake pads and filters next, subscribe, because oil was just the easiest one to prove with a receipt. Next time somebody quotes you their own branded bottle, ask who actually blends it before you ask what it costs. The forecourt is counting on you not to.